Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the Ultimates 2024 Volume 1. Ooh, Fix the World. Camp, Figgery, and Blee. And, this was my first time with, this kind of creative team. I mean, other than the free comic book day of what was kind of going on with it. And I really liked it. And it actually gave me more context for this version of Captain America and this version of, of course, Iron Lad and Doctor Doom as well. So it made Cap's kind of reaction in that free comic book day make more sense. He's not a complete asshole or anything, but he is dealing with people that aren't really that used to combat scenarios like he's doing, and why he wants to go help out the Human Torch, Android version, Jim Hammond, to get him on the team. So it made more sense, and I'm like, I don't know if Cap would talk like that to these guys, but given more context of the situation, it makes more sense, and he's not being like the complete asshole Cap that was going on in there. And I actually really like and empathize with a lot of the Ultimates and Avengers that are in here, and this different kind of take on these guys. They do a really good job on it, and this and Ultimate Spider-Man are my favorite Ultimate 2024 ones so far. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. So we start off with, let's see, this collects Ultimates 2024 1 through 6, Ultimate Universe Issue 1, and material from the free comic book day Spider-Man Ultimate Universe 1 as well. So we start off pretty much seeing Iron Lad and Doom going to recruit Thor, which are like, okay, let's see here. There's a thing here. Is it here? Yes. 6160. 2 weeks ago, the city was sealed, trapping the Imperator of Earth, the Maker, inside. Now, in his absence, a quiet war has broken out across the planet to shape what will happen to his kingdom. Some want to control the world. Some want to free it. It's like, alright, cool. And this is the stuff that I want to see. What happens on this timeline here of what's going on with the Maker. That's why I'm really into Ultimate Spider-Man and these Ultimates here. They're, of course, trying to figure out what's inside. And, of course, they're going for Thor as he's imprisoned here. It's like, okay. He's like, I don't want food or drink or anything like that. Doom being like, I'm also a free man, righteous, here to throw open the cage of the wrongly imprisoned. Lie not, I have no patience for such things. I promise. It is true that I am here to free one particular man, but only if that man is the god of thunder and lightning. I am he, I am Thor. We have him, Iron Lad. Great, come on, let's get out of here. Our ship's this way. Not yet. I have great need, and if my needs are met, then perhaps we will not need any vessel of yours. Do you think he knows the ship he's talking about is a bleeding-edge prototype that can navigate both real and imaginary space? I do not, but he seems unusually certain. I know, so the question I have is, what's better than $1 billion spaceship? It's like, you're about to see. And then we see that Thor and Sif have more of a contentious relationship of her being pretty much his warden. Of course, he's saying that he's free. Telling him to return to his cell, that he's leaving and taking what is mine. Of course, Iron Lad's blasting some motherfucker. Saying that I'm not leaving without my hammer. And Sif's like, come and take it. It's like, I don't need to. And then we see him transform, which is really nice. It's like, alright, it is a very impressive weapon. Perhaps more impressive than your very impressive ship. Here's what I want to know. If he can summon it at will, why didn't he do that when he was in his cell? Given what we know, there's really only one reason I can think of. He didn't want to, as he starts just cracking wholesale ass. It's like, oh shit. Wait, no, I've waited long enough, as he starts going to town on shit. Now we may leave. Great. The only problem is that with all the chaos and noise, we're probably going to have to fight our way to the ship. But it's our only way out of here. What else are we going to do? Stand close to me. This might feel odd, pretty much utilizing the Bifrost. Well, Sif pretty much comes with them. It's like, oh shit. Of course, they're seeing Cap in the Stark Tower. Who is this man? In many ways, he's the same as you and I. A hero of an erased age, but unlike all of us, because he is from an older, less corrupted time, we were able to rescue him at his origin in a state of innocence. Unscarred, unchanged, better, I suppose. Stand back. He shall be freed as I was. Whoa, whoa. You can't do it that way. It's like, ah, shit. Thor's ready to crack it open. And they're like, yeah, we gotta be careful on this. We only get kind of like one shot at it. And it's like, yeah, we were gonna try and use Pico Tech, but the thing that kind of like gives him his shit is his super soldier serum in his blood. So, I don't think we should like take out his blood and shit. I think we should do it anyway, Doom. But some of us have an outsized aversion to risk. He's a teen dude trying to take on a fuck-ass dick shit and the Maker in doing all this shit. So, as a teenager, having an overabundance of caution on at least certain kind of things, I'm alright with. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's me. The weirdo who doesn't want to gamble with people's lives. Can he hear us? I don't know, but he shouldn't fully regain consciousness until we're further along. So he might. And if he might, then there are words that should be said. Hear me, brother. I would free you now, as I would any in chains who deserve them not, were the risk not great and the cost so high. But you have my word. Should the time come when such a choice must be made, you will be free. Better to die as such than helpless and hopeless, trapped in a frozen hell. I'm like, yeah, you get Thor there. This might be a different universe, Thor, but yep. Ooh, strong words. But promising freedom when you don't have your own seems disingenuous, Thor. Is this Asgard, Sif? Am I in a cell? This is not Asgard. You are not in a cell. But do not forget who I am and what you are to me. While you may temporarily have my leave, you do not have absolution, no matter what these little men say. It's like, interesting kind of relationship there. And then, of course, they have to tell him that he's actually the king. It's like, what are we doing here? Of course, bringing up the whole Maker thing and explaining that, which I'm glad they're able to kind of do. Though, if you have... It's condensed enough that it doesn't feel like it's over-litigating what we've already seen with what was going on with the Ultimate Invasion and everything, but enough to get people on track for the important bits. And, of course, they're like, we want to set things right, and they're like, alright then, let's do this shit. I'm with you. And of course, they need more heroes to do this, so they pretty much sneak into Latveria and try and get into all this kind of stuff. And we see all of these repositories before they get beset upon by Captain Britain, who stabs Thor in the chest, and they're like, ah, shit! Now, Thor doesn't die, but he's severely wounded. And I do like the different kind of paneling that we get here, where we get Thor falling down, Captain Britain like that, Sif being like, you ain't fucking doing this, asshole! And he kind of fights Tony, and Tony blasts his fucking eye in. It's like, I want you to remember it. It's like, boo, it's like, fucking shit. So they pretty much get him back and try and, like, help him as much as possible. And this is, of course, where we start seeing them sending off things to, like, set off, see the spider for Ultimate Spider-Man there. And of course, Captain Britain starts bitching to the rest of the Makers kind of council, mainly in regards to, like, the various ones that are in control of the various regions. And we see that the Hulk is pretty much the one that's trying to keep everything in check. It's like, okay, the sun, interesting. And they pretty much try and do a retaliation and blast some shit and blame it on them doing what they're doing. We see a thing go nutty with Stark. It's like, what the fuck? And this is where we get pretty much like the death of like Harry's father and Aunt May and everything like that. Let's see. Then we get an epilogue that starts launching into other kind of stuff, linking, of course, up with Spider-Man, with the Ultimate X-Men, shit going on in Wakanda as well. We're like, okay, alright. You're like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? before we really then we get into the free comic book day, which we already went into. It's like, okay, this makes more sense with how Steve is, but we haven't gotten Steve out yet in here. And of course, Tony talking about his dad making a mess and everything like that. And seeing that they're kind of fucked up. He's blamed as a terrorist. Thor is fucked over. Steve's still in the ice. And of course, he starts bringing up that it's that they've got a time machine, so he's trying to get more heroes to their side. And seeing Teen Tony and, of course, Doom Richards trying to figure out what they need to do. They've only got certain kind of windows that they can send certain things back, trying to create the Ultimates 1.0. Bringing up Earth 616. Art really works pretty well. I like the designs and how the armor looks and how the faces look. They don't look really kind of weird or janky or strange. And it's like, alright, cool. And we see that he tries to call Reed, but he insists on being called Doom. Talking about how there's a resemblance to the Maker, but not really the Maker. While Doom did the math, I designed super identities and calculated the probability of heroism as a function of location, age, psychological history, past trauma, and 244 other unique variables. Sure, you could do that. I really wish they kind of cracked a little bit more into this. In between heroes, I cracked the Captain America problem, and it just kind of literally cracks. I wish there was kind of more into this. And then, of course, them trying to give Steve the lowdown, and Steve being like, what the fuck? I was fighting fascist assholes, now I gotta fight more fascist assholes. And of course that the United States broke up in 1969. All things considered, he took it pretty well. And then getting into it, seeing how their different kind of voices work. Like, Tony is still kind of similar to the Tony that we have in 616, but this is a younger Tony with a different kind of emotional baggage of everything kind of going on. And I still am interested in him, and all of these different characters, they're the exact thing of what the Ultimates should be. It's similar to what we've seen before, but it's different kind of directions and new takes of what's going on. That fusion of new and old. It's a hard thing to balance, but this really nails it here with like Iron Lad, Thor, Sif, Doom, Steve, and then when we get in further with other new characters as well. And of course, Steve brings up that this isn't going to work how he thinks. What? You can't start a revolution from your living room. Revolutions start on the ground, and heroes don't come out of boxes. It won't work. This is not a revolution, more like a machine or an experiment. One to shake the world. This is science. No, it's a revolution. I know one when I see one. There's some high-level math and engineering at work here, Steve. Hard even for us to understand sometimes, but it should work. I'll admit it. The motive stuff was a little anticlimactic. And then, of course, they see that it was sent, like, into the past, and then it looks the same. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah, pretty much the same. Shoot, which, worse, in fact. Measurably worse. That's Steve Rogers. He really is a perfect human. He didn't even say I told you so. It looks like only one or two took. The rest all rejected, intercepted, or deceased. A lot of accidental suicide by superpower. Yeah, we see we see Spidey popping up. We see Hawkeye pretty much like the titular Spidey one throwing the costume out. We've got Captain Marvel, and I don't know where, we don't have any more information on that. Okay, I admit it. I have not yet conquered time. Until you got a better handle on it, maybe we stick to time traveling the old-fashioned way, 1 second at a time. You overreact. One does not abandon an experiment after a single failure. Experiment? These are people's lives. We must troubleshoot and try again. Enough. Steve's right. We killed people, Doom. Ruined lives. I don't care if it puts us at a disadvantage. The Immortus engine is off limits. No more time travel. Yeah. Thank you for learning. And good being on the voice of reason, Steve. We'll save the world some other way, putting into the 2.0, going into the Hank and Janet dynamic. This one's different because evidently there's some kind of brain injury that Hank sustained, probably because the maker is a cock-ass dickhead, and now they're pretty much exterminators and run into the effect of, moloids, and the dude wanted him to kill him and is like, fuck you, asshole. And we see that Tony did send them something, and Hank had been thinking about it, but then he just pops up and be like, yeah, we need to talk. And they're like, no. Was that Howard Stark? I thought he was dead. You know I'd never hurt you no matter what, don't you, Janet? They're heading south on Broad Street. I will stop them. Gently. What? Where's this coming from? If you're Hank Pym, you wouldn't learn to fly. Oh, you know what? Of course, they stop them, and then, of course, we see the Tony thing talking about them in the background. It's us who should apologize. There was a miscommunication. I'm sorry about the van. We're still figuring everything out. Of course, seeing Thor still kind of propped up, Steve, Doom, Sif. Forget that. We don't have time. They'll be coming for us. Hey, you're Tony Stark. You killed thousands of people. I hope you're not one of those people who believes everything they're told, Ms. Van Dyne. Look, I don't have to tell you the world is broken. I can see it in your faces, and the sad slump of your soldiers. Well, we're here to fix it, and we need your help. It's been 6 months, and you haven't accepted our offer. I don't blame you. You must have thought you'd be alone, which is why we've come to you in person. We wanted to tell you. 6 months? What's he talking about, Hank? You won't be alone. We'd be here to help you. You'd be a part of something. It's like, yeah, that's Steve. Like, this makes sense of what would be the best kind of way to do it. Of course, Captain Britain pops up and be like, eat ass bitch, fuck, fuck, fuck. I mean, in my own kind of thing. And him just, like, shouting in French. One of the makers' inner circle, he's brought his personal guard, the Black Crusade. Captain Britain, the one screaming in French? The preening Frank with the magic blade is mine. It's just like, I want that ass. It's like, okay. And then we just see them with some great action going on. Ultimates, attack! It's like, you'll get there, Iron Lad, you'll get there. But of course, they start seeing the suits, and Janet gets hers on. She's like, ooh, wasping it up and doing some crazy ass shit. And of course, Hank's like, I don't deserve her. She doesn't seem to agree. She doesn't know. She hasn't read them. And of course, we see Tony pretty much getting his ass kind of pushed in, with shit getting ripped off. We see Doom with some guns going on. It's like, what the fuck? I read them. The files about who we were supposed to be. I read everything. She's supposed to be a superhero. She's supposed to make the world a better place. Me? Even in that reality, I'm a mess, a failure. Hero, villain, good, bad, or mad. I can't seem to make up my mind. I'm a loser at best, a menace at worst, I'm dangerous. And this is really kind of cool and really gets into why I like Cap and why this one is good too. Because he's talking about all this while Steve's dealing with fucking asshole and doing his unibeam blast. The things it says I did. It says I hurt people. It says I hurt her, my Janet. I'd never hurt her, but I do. It already happened. We see Janet blasting through people. We see the fucking take of, like, somebody trying to, like, eat her at one point and just, like, blast her way out of someone. It's like, yeah, of course, making the whole thing up. I do like the twist of the crazy, stupid, gross shit that was going on in the 2000 Ultimates. Sure, I'm afraid of dying or getting hurt, but I'm most afraid of that I would become what you want me to be, what I'm supposed to be. I'll hurt the people I love most. I don't have an answer for you, Henry. Certainly no guarantees. I can only say that that man is not you. His failures are not your failures. His sins are not yours. Damn straight. In my experience, Henry, there are times that call us to be bigger than ourselves for the greater good. The world needs giants right now, son. No one can make this choice for you, Henry. But if I can make an observation, you could have gotten rid of that thing any time. Burned it, thrown it in the river, given it away, smashed it to pieces. But you've been driving around with it in arm's reach for 6 months. I'm no genius, but it seems to me that means something. And then, of course, we then see that Tony's pretty much put on the back foot, is blasting away, and then we see fucking Giant Man He's like, yeah, and get the giant boot with the ultimate logo. Super terrorists put their foot down. Online conspiracy group claims footprint proof of God. I think it says, the ultimates are here, and we're going to leave a mark. It's like, oh yeah. Now this is really kind of cool and puts me into liking this Tony. What is failure? You always loved questions, but I think that was your favorite. Before anyone could answer it, you'd say failure is what comes before success. I bet it killed in boardrooms and cocktail parties, but I heard it for what it was, a deflection. By then, you were usually well into your 10th drink and slurring your words. Howard Stark, the Iron Man. At some point, every boy sees his father for what he is, a man with flaws and weaknesses, like any other. But I was advanced for my age. I saw it earlier than most. I remember the day exactly. It was my 5th birthday. You were in South America, off at some society gala. I cried and cried, but none of the maids or nurses or nannies could understand why. I cried for 3 days until you finally came home. You thought I might be ill, until I showed you my work. You checked it and could find no fault. I was 5 years old when I mathematically proved that life isn't fair. All I wanted was to talk to you about my findings, but instead, you built me a rudimentary psychotherapy AI, a glorified chatbot named Jarvis, because that's the kind of father you were. What other word for that is for it but failure? As a father, as a husband, as a leader, as a man. Failure. So it's no surprise that this world you helped make, or at least maintain, is also a failure. A world run by fickle monsters. Is that why you drank? You couldn't stand the unobstructed view of what you helped make? For all your brilliance, you never understood. You couldn't imagine how far you'd have to go to really change things. Or perhaps you did understand and simply chose not to. For the sake of your memory, I prefer to believe the former. Don't think your final act of sacrifice absolves you. It doesn't. You took the easy way out, as always. Like I said, it's quite a mess you left, Dad, and now we have to clean it up. What choice do we have? Initially, I thought we could recreate the world that was stolen from us. Remake this world and that world's image. But I see now that the Maker did his work too well. He's changed too much, bent the moral arc of this universe in the wrong direction. If there's any hope of fixing things, it won't be enough to be as good as the heroes of that simpler world. We'll have to be better. I don't know what that looks like yet, but we're going to figure it out. So thank you for your letter, Dad, and for your sacrifice, but it was too little too late. You should have always been fighting. We all should have been fighting from the start. I'll always love you, Dad, but I'll never forgive you. You were the smartest man in the world. You should have known better. And that is failure. Your son, Tony. I totally understand his sentiment there of, these were the people that had the world before us, and they didn't do what they needed to do. They'll always say these things, and they'll always have an excuse, but it's like, we need to do things. Sure, mistakes will be made, and we have to fix them. You fucked up with the hero things. We don't have as many here, so we're going to go through and fix it up. I totally empathize with him with his view on his father like that. I'm like, God damn, that's... It's a similar view probably of like the 616 Tony, but it's even more hard-edged because of what the Maker has done. So we pop off and we're in Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July. We see the Ultimates popping up. And this is an interesting one as the little girl's like, what's that letter on his head stand for, Mommy? Okay, Ultimates, let's go save America. And that's kind of a double kind of thing going on here because of the end. We see Steve dealing with everything and learning about all the history. And it's like, holy shit. Seeing all the crazy shit going on, blasting into the White House. He's like, I'll give you a choice, with or through. Come on in. Welcome to the White House. Brought to you by Midas, this dude who'd pretty much golded out one of Howard Stark's armors. It's nuts. Seeing Steve go through all this stuff, it's like, oh god. Of course, it starts pissing off Tony. Tony, he's just trying to throw you off balance. On the subject of history, Captain America, correct? Welcome to my home, Captain. You've been here before, I assume. Once or twice. Talking about it being a free country, then blasting through. No deals. We're here to save America. And see, the thing is, at first, you're thinking, yeah, he's trying to save the United States of America, but he's also trying to save America Chavez. You're like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? Of course, he's like, Amalgamation and capital, the boy knows. Shut up. Above politics. Above sentiment. The fundamental exchange and its perfect medium, money. You fancy yourself an inventor, don't you, boy? Well, money is man's greatest invention, and its acclamation man's noblest purpose. You must see that if you see anything at all. Such order as has been obtained anywhere has been obtained in the pursuit of wealth. You sure like the sound of your own voice, don't you? Here's the deal. We know what you're doing in the basement, and we're putting a stop to it. So, with or through? And of course they start blasting through. We see Punisher. We see the Savage Lands. We see, of course, Stark and Stain fighting Omega Red. Of course, we see them still fighting Midas because he's a fucking asshole, and seeing how he's like taking all this kind of shit, but they blast down underneath. My God. And of course we then see, it's like, oh yeah, she's powering like the entire seaboard and shit. We believe she fell from the future, the victim of some sort of violent explosion, or perhaps an escape gone wrong. We don't know much. She's never spoken to us. Not one word, not even her name. Nevertheless, I'm an entrepreneur. I always find a way to turn a profit. Wasp and Giant Man are out. Iron Lad, take. I can't. I tried to tell you. That took everything I had. I'm down to basic functions. Power saver mode activated. So, pretty much Steve going at it. And just getting thrashed down, seeing the red skulls and everything like that. It's like, god damn. The man who discovered America, Cortez, the men who discovered America, Cortez, Columbus, these were pirates and warlords. That's not a criticism. On the contrary, I'm not in the business of looking back in judgment. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It is the very nature of this land to be violated for maximum value to be extracted, like ore from the earth. And of course, he keeps saying free America and everything like that. And it's like, okay, pretty much the country, but also, of course, Wasp is able to blast through, and we see, of course, this is America. Chavez. He's lost his power, sir. Quiet, boy. I'll kill you wearing your father's skin. You cannot have her. You understand? She is mine. I love her. Love her. And then Steve just cracks him in the neck. You don't even know her name. I believe you broke my neck, Captain. Gold's soft metal. Of course, talking about dire consequences of that. It's like, It's that asshole who pretty much has a prisoner and says, like, I will shoot these motherfuckers. It's like, you chose to power this shit. We will help others as we can. It's okay, miss. We're here to help. Well, what's your verdict on the 21st century, Captain America? A great injustice was done to you, but things will be better now. Can you remember your name? And it's like, all right, Steve, he's gonna get to work. America. It's like, fuck, man. Then we get to this really crazy-ass fucking one. Introducing us to Ultimate She-Hulk. And seeing that it's this fucked up amalgamation of the nuclear tests, but they were doing gamma tests in this realm. Of course, directed by Banner. And it does, like, these pretty much monster-level things going on here. Talking about everything going gnarly and all that. It's like Monster Island shit. They're popping off. It's like, let's see what's going on here. Holy fucking shit. Of course, Tony's like, oh shit, that violates everything. That shouldn't be that big. And Thor's like, I killed shit like this 1 minute later. And they're like, you killed it. You didn't have to kill it. He's like, look at this giant fucking crab. It's like, yeah, he's very much of the team kind of one. But then they pretty much get set upon by something that's a little bit more intelligent. But we find out that it's not as it seems. We hear someone say stop as we see Ultimate She-Hulk pretty much trying to guard and protect people. I am Lejory Jonah Zakaria, protector of this atoll and everything on it. You are intruders. Stop now or accept my consequences. Well, she is uncommonly eloquent for a monster and comely. It's like, yeah, doing the Thor and She-Hulk thing. They don't get together here, but it's like, okay. And we see her then singing, and it's actually a baby that transforms. It's like, Jesus Christ. And even though it's a little bit harder to see in this one, flipping, they're like, holy fucking shit. They say they selected us for our good weather and large lagoons and our many islands for support facilities. I was a girl when they came. Little men in white coats surrounded by big men in green with guns. They offered us money and promised us houses, medicine, and the protection of the world governments. They swore that once all their bombs had been dropped, and all their experiments had been done, and all their wars had been won, they would clean up after themselves and everything would be as it was. Trust us, he said. Banner, the so-called doctor. And it was like, this is not good. And we see everything kind of going on with the people that have been changed. And it's not all good shit. This is Tara. She feels everything. The most gentle breeze is agony for her. For her, life is pain. You want to put a gun in her hand? Holding it would be torture. Of course, they're trying to find people to help. It's like, we really can't. So, she'll help them out if Tony is able to fix everything here. She's seen everything go gnarly. It's like, alright, no, it just won't do. Of course, Banner is like, nah, fuck that shit. Assemble the immortal weapons. These ultimates are starting to make me angry. 15 months remaining. Then we get a look into what happened with Doom, Reed Richards, and this really does delve into psychology and everything. Doom trying to figure out and everything, because the Makers set everything up to pretty much screw them over. Tony kind of getting into it is like, what's going on? Why are you missing things? What's happening to your hands? What's wrong? It's like, and this is the big kind of bit here. I suffer from periods of extreme despair. During these periods, it is as if I am oppositely charged, lost in an all-consuming universe where nothing is possible. I call it my negative zone, and I do like them hitting on that. It's like, God damn it. And I'm like, I get that, Reed. I get that. I have those myself. And he's like, I'll try to communicate better in the future. As we see Johnny dying in the thing that was supposed to give them their cosmic powers. Of course, he's working on Project 4 to continue, trying to recreate the Fantastic Four things, seeing them with mice. It's like, shit. We see Ben killing himself in a suicide in a quarry. We see that Susan dies with the stray cosmic radiations. And, of course, Doom being like, the mice keep dying, damn it. And then, of course, the Maker fucking... He just couldn't fuck with him. Or just kill him. He was like, no, I gotta fuck with him. And, of course, Doom being like, how much has the Maker destroyed and everything? Pretty much saying that, like, Stark is jeopardizing the cause and everything. Saying that he's lost nothing and everything. It's like, come on. He's like, everything feels complete. Something is missing. Trying to get the Fantastic Four to return. It's a really kind of affecting issue to deal with that. It's like, god damn, and you really feel for him. The Maker really fucked him up. Now this is a pretty interesting one, introducing Ultimate Hawkeye. They are a really kind of cool character here. We start off with like two quotes. Upon suffering, beyond suffering, the Red Nation shall rise again, and it shall be blessed, be a blessing for a sick world. A world filled with broken promises, selfishness, and separations. A world longing for light again. I see a time of 7 generations when all the colors of mankind will gather under the sacred tree of life, and the whole earth will become one circle again. That's Sunke Witko Crazy Horse. Like, okay. And then, I don't go so far as to think that the only good Indian is a dead Indian, but I believe 9 out of every 10 are, and I shouldn't like to inquire too closely into the case of the 10th. Theodore Teddy Roosevelt, 26th President of the United States. Fuck that shit. That is, like, ugh. That's not good, man. Let me see. Yeah. And of course, Tony brings up the problem that the Hawkeye that was supposed to have it doesn't have it. We've got somebody pretty much going to war on Roxxon, which they should be, and talking about how, like, those arrows are, like, pretty much can take on, like, a battalion, and Steve's like, alright, cool, that's impressive. Not arrows, a cutting-edge, self-printing, smart projectile weapon system of my own design. Arrows. Look, Steve, I took a shot, but the man who was supposed to be the hero Hawkeye rejected our offer. Threw it in a trash can, you mean. And a random passerby picked it up. Tony, I'm not seeing the problem. This is what we wanted. Citizens taking up arms against the Council, its allies, and its infrastructure. Between running operations, Gamma Island reclamation, and repairing the Human Torch, I've been swamped. But I finally had a chance to run this person's numbers. It doesn't look good, Steve. Their heroism score was in the bottom 10 percentile, and on the villain potential index. It's like, listen, you give them the shot. If they start going asshole deep and being an asshole, you stop them. All right? And Steve's like, they're going after Roxxon and shit. Can we just, like, go for it? And that's a lot of plates for a kid to juggle, and, well, teen to juggle. Definitely want to reclaim this stuff and make sure that She-Hulk is good to go on that, and also get the Human Torch up. Some things aren't captured in numbers, Tony. I thought you'd learned that after what happened last time. That's exactly why we have to get these weapons back. I can't be responsible for any more unnecessary death. I can't, Steve. Totally get that. So they're like, alright, fine. And then, of course, they showcase the arrows and everything. That's what's going on. I took a shot, Steve. I took a shot and I missed. I'll take care of it. It's like, alright. And I know he's kind of like, he takes care of it. I'm glad with that, Steve. I know he's trying to understand Tony. He's like, alright, let's deal with this. Get to a Roxxon refinery. I love the best kind of bit is showcasing the arrows that this Hawkeye has. They sent a cowboy, huh? Charlie Ramsey? You know why I'm here. You're one of those ultimates, so, I don't know, to blow up a school or something? No, I think you know we don't do that. Besides, blowing things up seems to be your thing. It's like, I love that, like, you're doing this, man. What the fuck are you doing on me? Draw, cowboy. I'm a captain, actually. Captain, nah, you a cowboy Gary Cooper-looking motherfucker, and I'm the Indian. Know what that makes us? Sure, I get the reference, as he's, like, dealing with all these kind of arrows and all of the things that Hawkeye's able to do. I know all about cowboys. My dad used to love those old movies. I've seen them all. They were all the same. Cowboys killing Indians. Cowboys killing Indians. Cowboys killing Indians. Everybody cheers. But I loved them too. It's fucked up, but I loved them too. I really like the design. Like, Charlie was able to make the costume their own. Stop, I didn't come here to fight you. I just need those weapons back. They're dangerous and you can't be older than 16. How old were you when you put on that suit? Took a stand. What do you know about this suit, or what it stands for? Different things, I guess, for you and me. So what? You get to be a hero. Tony Stark gets to be a hero. The guy who threw all this stuff away, he gets to be a hero. But me, I don't meet the criteria. I fail a test or something. And I do like Steve looking off like, yeah, I don't agree with the test. We always fail their test. The math never works out in our favor. You know what they do? These Roxxon energy partners, they do whatever they want. I'm like, yep. I would just be like Steve's just pretty much just trying to test in here. And I really love the art style of showing him, like, going around like that. Talking about how they're fucking up everything. Talking about that I had a vision. It was meant for me. Of course, talking about Tony's whole message. You see, it was meant for me. And him just kind of, like, going through. It's like, oh, god damn it. Him just bouncing around, being able to, like, take things off. Enough! And just, like, cracks Charlie. Just like the movies. Cowboy wins, Indian dies. Everybody cheers. No one's dying, and that's not cheering. Get up and use those eyes. What the hell is... I tried to tell you. What you're doing is dangerous. That's a Roxxon cleanup crew coming to erase us both like a couple of carpet stains. Mercenaries, basically. Roxxon hires them to secure mining operations and locations with high levels of local instability. I hear they were instrumental in putting down the Savage Land Revolt of the 70s. I've been reading up on history. And I kind of think that this kind of gives them a nice kind of little bonding thing here. There's 1,000 of them. Someone once told me that with proper training, an operator could stop a small army with those weapons you're holding. So I hope you've been practicing as we then see this page of them cracking wholesale ass. It's like, not bad, Hawkeye. Not bad at all. It's like, yeah. We should get out of here. More will be coming. What about our fight? Don't you want your arrows back? No. I was never going to take them back. I just wanted to be sure before I told Iron Lad. What are you going to tell him? That he didn't miss? Hey, is your spirit name really Charlie Hawkeyes? You white people will believe anything. Unbelievable. What are we going to do about this? Taking their kind of mask off. It's like, okay, I hope they kind of have a little, I like their kind of thing there. DaCosta. We see Hulk being like, yeah, just chill. We're going to get them. I've studied these ultimate gorillas, their strengths, their weaknesses, their disharmonious ideas. They utilize advanced Stark stealth tech. Their true identities are closely held secrets. If we crush 2 or 3, the others will go to ground and gather strength in the shadows. The ultimates operate as an insurgency. You can't destroy an insurgency piece by piece, so what do you propose? Very simple. I'm going to kill them all at once. 13 months remaining. It's like, oh god. Man, there's a lot of shit that goes on here. Of course, they're trying to rescue some people here. They're able to get into their thing, and they're pretty much utilizing all of them. There's going to be this big execution, so we see them kind of talking about everything, but Doom is the only one that's going to be on the back burner. We've got all of our new ones. We got America Chavez, Giant Man, Wasp, She-Hulk, Hawkeye, the Human Torch, Captain America, Thor, and Sif, and of course, Iron Lad. Now, this turns into a trap as they get into the place. It's like, what the fuck is this? Ultimates assemble at last. Patience is a tree with bitter roots that bears sweet fruits. Will you join me for some tea? And of course, it's like, She-Hulk's like, fuck that noise. I do like her outfit. I like how it's her own, but echoes what we've seen before. And we see that Banner is able to utilize certain kind of techniques. Atomic Iron Fist, 15 Hiroshima's level. It's like, oh god, she gets like cracked out. It's like, this isn't good. How about that tea? I made enough for everyone. And I do like the differencing of the kind of panelings there showing as She-Hulk crashes back down. And Doom's like, oh shit. What have you gotten yourself into now, Iron Lad? It's like, You should be honored. It is not often that terrorists are permitted entrance to heaven, but for you, I made special arrangements. Of course, calling upon his own kind of team of crazed up, let's see. The immortal weapons of Hulk, Decay's beautiful daughter, Fat Cobra, Uranium Brother 235, Prince of Meltdowns, Bride of 9 World Breakers, Crane, Mother of the Bomb. And of course, Doom's trying to like get everything back into. It's like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? And this does not go very well. I mean, Thor's pretty much back up to good kind of strength levels. The Ultimates try and do their best, but Tony pretty much gets ripped apart. And it's like, oh god, there's some here that are able to handle gamma level threats, but it's not as much as you would think. Let's see here. Yeah, it just goes pretty badly for our heroes here, but not to the point where they're like all completely fucked up. We do see Sif and Thor pretty much trying to like keep themselves together and everything. This dude eats Jan, and it's like, oh god, of course, doing the whole kind of blob bit. But she fucking rips herself out of him and it's like, oh god, that's gnarly and disgusting, but very well drawn. Good on you for the art. 7 seconds and 7,000 unknowns. One mistake and everyone is dead. Again. Poor fucking Doom Reed. So we see most of the people are pretty much holding their own and are right a little bit. Tony is pretty much getting crushed to shit by Banner. But then She-Hulk pops up and gets her fucking hand ripped. But we do see it like healing at the end. Now or never, life or death, all hope lies in Doom. Then we see everybody kind of brought back out. And it's like, oh shit. Iron Lad is dead, as we see that Tony is like really fucked up, leaving us on that cliffhanger, and She-Hulk's hand pretty much healing. It's like 12 months remaining. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing where that kind of cliffhanger goes. It's like, oh my god. Got some nice kind of covers in here. But this was $24.99 US, $31.25 Canadian. That's odd one there. But I would definitely recommend this if you're into the Ultimate Universe. It's like if you had seen stuff going on with Ultimate Spider-Man. But if you're just into Ultimate Spider-Man, it makes sense if you're not like, nah, that doesn't sound good enough for me. I do like that they hone in and kind of focus on each kind of new team member. We don't really get much on America Chavez here, except towards kind of the end where she gets a little bit of her personality shaken out, but I hope they focus on her as well. I love how they dived into Hawkeye, and I like their relationship that they're kind of building up with Steve. I really do like this Steve. This isn't like the asshole Captain America that we'd seen in the other Ultimate Universe. And I do understand more of what I saw in the Free Comic Book Day. If you're just centering on that, it's like, that's kind of a weird kind of relationship for him to kind of have with Tony. But then you're like, oh, okay, Teen Tony, Doom, these guys aren't really soldiers. He's trying to do a covert mission, and it definitely does make sense that he would have rather wanted Thor and Sif on that. I do like Thor and Sif kind of like, and Sif being like, all right, you're my prisoner, I'm just gonna like watch for your ass, but then learning and everything, and it's like becoming more of that kind of thing. The Hank and Janet thing, I really like Hank just wrestling with that, and Steve just providing that push to get him to be Giant Man, to not be that dude, to just do his own kind of thing and help people and be bigger than himself and be like, yeah, cool. And I really connected with this Steve, and I connect with Tony's view of his father very much, because the Maker really fucked up this world, and Howard could have done more. I mean, he did do a good chunk to like lock his fucking ass up, but before that, I really do like She-Hulk calling out for certain kind of shit and be like, listen, help my place, clean this shit up. And Tony's like, all right, cool, we'll do it. He at first was like, yeah, we kind of have to like fix the rest of the kind of stuff. That's always how it happens. You want me to do something for you, and then you don't do the shit back to actually help out. Ugh. And then their big kind of first real and the diving into Doom and everything that went wrong with the Fantastic Four and the Maker just completely fucking with him. I totally get that for him. It's horrible what he went through. And then the Ultimates trying to do this kind of rescue mission, the big kind of team thing, and their first kind of outing is a failure where we're led to believe that Iron Lad is dead. Everybody's fucked up. It's like, what are we going to do now? Because it had pretty much been Doom and Tony leading at this point, and with Tony out of action, Doom being pretty much vastly absorbed and obsessed with recreating the Fantastic Four and fixing those problems, we had to see who will take up leadership of the team. You would think that would be Steve, and see how that kind of goes. I mean, we'll see how that potentially could happen. We don't know if that's really going to be the case for sure here, but Tony had pretty much been the driving kind of impetus for this, so we'll see what kind of works out with that. I'm like, okay, that's a hell of a cliffhanger, and we'll see what goes on. I really enjoyed this. I loved Camp's handle of these characters, of being able to, again, balance what made them core in the beginning and having the change of what they are in these kind of worlds. I liked and identified with them all, that were given the kind of character depth that they are. America Chavez, I don't have much on this one other than she was captured and used as a fucking battery by some assholes. Yeah, she's the only one that I would call out at the moment that doesn't have much, but that's something that can still be rectified going forward. And the Human Torch, Jim Hammond. It's like, alright, we'll see how that kind of goes. I'm definitely more intrigued in this, and will definitely like to see what goes on in other kind of volumes. So those are my opinions on the volume. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.